You have to.
Heck yeah. All right. All right. Now, what? Here's another tricky one. What was the most important development belt in your game? I mean, I don't know what that means, but is there a belt that was most specific that helped you develop your game the most, or something to that effect? I don't know.
I would say purple belt because that's when I started watching some of like the idols, I guess, that I grown up watching since like the Meow Brothers. I was watching them as purple belt because they were purple belt. They're my weight class. And I was watching them Berimbolo and when no one knew what the hell a Berimbolo was. And I was like, these guys are on a different level. I mean, damn, I'm a purple belt. What the hell am I missing?
Yeah.
So I was doing MMA a lot, so it was hard for me to balance fighting and doing gi. So I wasn't getting promoted that much. So purple belt was important to me because I started really focusing on the gi a little bit more, and I started doing Delahiva guard, and I started trying to Berimbolos.
Okay.
And I got smashed for years doing them, and now I do them in tournaments, so it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. That's great to hear because like I'm a big dude and I got mechanical parts in my body, in my back. So
Yes.
when you got the titanium bolt, sometimes Bambola makes it tough. But you know what? I'm actually the more I start to do it, like I got to do it in pieces.
Yeah.
Like I got a little work on this flexibility, this flex. Now I'm getting a little further over, and now I can
Oh yeah.
actually invert all the way around. It's just crazy, you know?
Oh man, and it's just drilling.
Yeah,
It's just drilling and doing it where you're able to do it in your sleep. It's
and,
just
and it's also having someone who doesn't let you quit on it.
mhm.
Because he never lets me quit on it. He always makes me do it at least. You know, you got to at least do it a couple times.
Oh
Even though my
yeah,
back's
no,
hurting, he knows I can't do it the whole time, but you at
yeah,
least got to try.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, no, I, yeah, no, they're getting it. I'm huge
Yeah,
about trying to be perfect. Perfection isn't possible, really, but
yeah,
we
that's
got
all.
to try to get there.
That's great. All right, here's one of those good ones I posted. The most twisted thing you saw on deployment.
Oh man,
Man, there's a few of these.
twisted thing. Oh, when I seen this, I seen the question too, and I was thinking about it for a while. I'm like, what is the twisted? Um, I would say the most twisted thing. I mean, there's a lot of twisted things that happen in a few years out there, but
Yeah,
I guess one pretty twisted thing is when we were on a mission and we were just driving as usual, motor T, so we're just transporting back and forth to bases, and we would go to El Asad. It's funny a lot. So we were going on just a regular mission, and we found that this one guy was like torturing people in his basement and stuff. Like he had him in like cages. Um, and then the base, how he found him, he was trying to blow us up with an IED.
yeah.
So we seen him and we grabbed his ass, and then we like saved all those people in there. And I'll
Wow.
just say I was the one in the back of the truck. It was me and I was a lance corporal at the time, and then it was my corporal, and we had to watch this guy in the truck because we were taking him to the prison and stuff. Um, that was a fun little ride.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Um, but yeah, a lot of you know, I won't say what we did on that ride there, but
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
That had to be horrible to see. I mean, did you help free all those people from kids from the cages and stuff?
yeah, I mean, I wasn't in there, but we were. I was on the convoy, so we had a few of the military police go in and grab them.
Hmm.
But I remember being there for a while and hearing about what they were doing, and that's pretty. Unfortunately, that's normal over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's sad to say too, because in a third world country like that, some people just don't understand the level of violence these people are capable of on a normal day. In
I mean,
in that it's in that culture, it's not so
it's
foreign. So
it's
people
it's
here are so ignorant to it.
it's such a different world, and I really wish everybody would have to join the military, especially these kids nowadays. Oh, they need reality checks. A lot of
Yeah,
people. So I feel like everyone should have to like go deploy once or twice, just go see, appreciate the United States more. And
Yeah,
I
you
remember
definitely get it. You definitely get a true appreciation for the United States for sure.
yep. And that's what one of my staff sergeants told me, and I'll never forget it. He was like, "You're always going to appreciate the United States once you're out fighting a war or seeing other countries. You're going to be like, maybe I'll appreciate it a little bit more here." And that opened my eyes.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Yeah, my one of my sergeants, Sergeant Street, back in the day, he told me that after I got back from my first deployment to Somalia, Africa, like when I was 19,
Eesh.
and man, that place sucked. So going
Somalia.
over there, and when I came back home, whoa, getting back on U.S. soil was like, yes,
Yeah.
take me
Yeah.
to a McDonald's.
Yeah. Just seeing grass is like the
Yeah,
best thing ever. And, you know,
yeah, it's good
that's
stuff,
that's
man.
that's what a lot of people don't get.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so okay, all right, not too twisted. I mean, it was twisted, but not like weird twisted.
Yeah.
Here's one of those tough ones. We had like a two-part question, bro, because a couple of people had similar questions. And here's what I told you: I gotta put my glasses on because I don't want to misquote anything.
Hell yeah.
One of our boys said, "Has there been days where you felt like jiu-jitsu did not help you cope with your PTSD or your demons?"
Um, well, yeah, not, I
Uh-oh.
mean, yes,
Definitely could be some advice ones too, but
okay.
yeah. There
Are
we
you
go. We
back?
back now? We
Yeah,
back?
yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. I was
Yeah.
just talking about the questions a little bit now we got. So I don't want to lose the feed, but okay. Has there been days where you felt like jiu-jitsu did not help you cope with your PTSD or your demons?
Uh, I mean, yes and no, meaning it's like jujitsu is not a cure-all. You're not just gonna go to class and be like, "Oh, okay, well, my PTSD's gone. I'm good." Um, however, it's always there. You know what I mean? Like, so jujitsu is always there and it's always going to help, but that doesn't mean I don't have demons and I don't have my days. I don't have my weeks in a row that are bad, but when I picture it without jujitsu is when things get bad and
Yeah.
can get bad. And like during the whole quarantine thing, when I get injured, I just know my mental health and the people that know me close, they know. They're like, "You're not training, are you?" I'm like, "No." So no, it's always been there for me. Um, but I mean, like I said, it's not a cure all. Obviously, you got multiple things to cure yourself, or not cure yourself, but just tolerate, what you're going through.
Or help you cope. Help you cope.
Exactly, exactly, and you gotta just show up.
Yeah.
You just
Man.
gotta show up and train.
And this next one is kind of goes into that. And it's from my boy Jonathan out here. He's the one who trained with you before.
Okay.
Jonathan Creason, he says he met you before and trained with you. It was great. He said, how do you deal with PTSD outside of jiu-jitsu? And we don't talk about it a lot or much at all. We step onto the mat and a lot of our problems just wash away. Nothing else really matters in that moment besides the person trying to choke you. But as soon as you step off the mat, it's human nature and reality sets back in. It's very easy to get caught back in a cycle. So basically what I'm saying is, besides jiu-jitsu, what else do you use as a coping tool, coping mechanism?
What else do I use? I so one coping mechanism is just staying busy. Uh, I tend to, but see, I'm in a different. I'm an instructor too, so I have my own school, so it's a little bit different where I could shift my focus into somebody that's competing in a month or so, and I really have to focus on them. So when I'm not there, when I'm at home or whatnot, I'm trying to study. So I'm still doing jiu-jitsu. I'm trying to study what I could teach them more, or I come up with programs. Um, so I always that the biggest thing for me is just try to stay busy, but I don't know what I have the answer for of after, if I don't have the jujitsu. during regular life. I think it's just you have to have a lot of, and I don't know, you gotta have a lot of common sense. I feel like for one, common sense and a good upbringing because PTSD, could strike at any second, and it's a vicious thing.
What sucks is
Um,
the upbringing part. Not everybody has a great upbringing, you know.
no, no, they don't, and that makes it a
Yeah,
lot worse, especially in deployment issues. I've had people that has probably seen a lot more combat than I have, um, and they might not be as bad as me, I guess, to speak mentally. But you never know someone's demons because they a lot of people keep it in. Um, but yeah, no, that's a good question. I just try to stay in the moment and realize what I have, and knowing that I have jujitsu and and having good people in my life, I know that, okay, just get past this moment here, get past this, and let's get right back to where I was. Trying to stay in the present. That's the hardest thing. But that's what I try to do to cope with it. Because it's not easy.
yeah,
It's not easy, but you have to remember you have that, and I listed that at all my belts. Like if I was going through some mental things, I'd be like, man, that was when I had my brown belt. Like I know when I had
uh,
some rough times, and
yeah,
I put that to my belts, and I'm just like, damn, I've been through a lot, but I kept training, and it saved, and that's jujitsu saved me in those aspects.
yeah. I
Um,
like it.
I hope that answered some sort of the question, but that was a tough one. But
Yeah, it is a tough one because it is a daily struggle sometimes, and sometimes it's easy, and sometimes there's no triggers, and sometimes there's no memories that come up, and
yeah,
some months are really hard. Like for me, February is really hard, man. It's always going to be. That's just a month of incredible loss for me, just the whole month. But
yeah,
we have different things to do. All of us different things we do. But for me, jiu-jitsu gets me there, gets me on the mat. And really for me, it's those conversations I have in between rounds or right after training when I'm super fatigued and just gassed and I've given everything. I left my fucking soul right there on the
Mhm.
mat. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to my partner right there who just took it and he's just laughing at me and we're just joking. And those conversations you have in that moment, those are fire, man. They
Oh,
like ignite my ignite a fire in my soul, dude. And it
oh
brings
yeah.
me back every time. It gives me like motivation to keep coming back, you know?
Oh, and that you gotta have a family. You gotta have a family bonding in jujitsu or combat sports. I've been to some bad gyms. I've
Yeah,
seen some shitty atmospheres that it's
yeah,
toxic,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna sit around a bunch of people with egos. I don't have time for that.
yeah,
I'm not there for that.
yeah. I
I
love it, man. But it's for me, I feed off the energy too, and I'm sure you do too. So if you're in a toxic environment, all those people
uh,
are pushing out that toxic energy, and you don't even have to be talking to them.
no,
You just feel that energy. For me, it radiates to me, and I'm like, ugh, and I don't want to push it back. I don't want to push that back out, so it messes me up.
I wonder if it's because we're military or if we've been overseas if we're more sensitive to stuff like that. Because like reading off energies and emotions, it triggers me a lot more. Like you
Yeah,
said, someone could walk in the room in a shitty mood, and I could feel it, and I'm like, man, I
yeah,
don't like that.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. And sometimes it's not a good feeling and you don't
no,
know where that person's at. Sometimes you can really sense evil too. And I'm like, well, hold up, I don't like you at all.
I know,
And I just get a vibe and an energy that's not right. And
no,
I don't get good intentions from you. So I don't know. I feel that, and I didn't really start dialing that in until I retired, until I could really start focusing on me, myself, my own body, my own mind, and like really realizing that's what I've been doing my whole life, my whole career. Like for almost 30 years, that's what I did. I fed off of energy. That's what gravitated me towards the young
and,
kids.
yeah, yeah, no, it's a mental roller coaster in the military, and how you were in for 30 years, you said.
Now 28 and a half, 28 and a half. Yeah.
I don't know how you did it. That's crazy. I mean, that 4 years was rough. I mean, you got a lot of people though in the military now. Well, nowadays especially that just they don't deploy. They'll go on I say go on vacations.
Yeah,
The
it's true
only
though,
place,
dude.
yeah,
It's true.
I saw Kuwait, Iraq, California to train. a New Zealand airport, and a Germany airport.
Yeah, but
Wow. What?
it's not these kids' fault neither. So
No.
some of them, they're going to be getting mentally in their head too because they really came in to do all kinds of fun stuff that we got to do. They wanted to go do all this fun stuff and all these crazy things that maybe aren't so fun all the time, but they didn't get to do it. So now they're like, oh, I'm just stuck here going to Okinawa and back. What the heck, you know?
It's tough. It's tough on them because it's yeah, no, it's a different, it's just different times. It's different
And
times.
there's still some strong kids out there, really highly motivated individuals. One of my best little kids there. She's still in now, little corporal. Like she hit me up with a question and it was like, "Hey, where's the scariest place you've ever been?" Like she knew I've been all over, and she's like Somalia, Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, or something. Nah, man, it's
Hmm.
right here. That's the scariest
Hmm.
place I've ever been.
It's true. That's absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, she kind of looked at me like, "What?"
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she gets it now, though.
The stuff you can't see is scary.
Yeah, it's 100%, 100%, man. All right, so and your school, when did is that you opened your own school?
Yes, I've had my school now for going on about 2.5, 3 years now.
Nice. And when
Um,
did you decide to take that plunge?
Man, so I was working a horrible job after the military, like a cable company for like 8, 9 years, and I couldn't do it anymore. Like they started micromanaging and blah blah blah, and I'm still training. I'm fighting at the time, doing cage fighting. I always wanted to teach, but you never think it's gonna happen. Um, I started teaching a little bit at Purple Belt, like teaching some of the Muay Thai guys because I was learning Muay Thai. Um, and then, uh, I started doing a little bit of, a little bit of that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start thinking about teaching and stuff. So I lost my job at the cable company and I had an opportunity to teach at like a UFC gym. And I'm like, sure, well, hell yeah, I'll go teach kickboxing classes, blah, blah, blah. And I was a brown belt. I wasn't even teaching jujitsu there for like first like 7 months, which is funny.
Okay.
Um, and the jujitsu at the time was just, there was like two, three people. And once I started teaching it, we started getting like a group that just started going to like a UFC gym to do jujitsu. Um, And I don't know, I just kept seeing people showing up for my classes. I'm like, man, why do these people keep showing up for my classes? Like every week they're here, they're putting in all this effort. I'm like, man, I'm starting to really like this because I could put my mind towards somebody else and look at that. So after 2 years of doing that, we had like 25 to 30 regular people, and we were even doing gi when gi wasn't even a thing in any UFC gym in Illinois, at least that I know of. Um, so they're like, oh, I mean, they're like, we could try the gi, but no one's gonna show up to it. And then that became like the largest class. I just made people love jujitsu because I share how much I love it with them, and they could
Yeah.
either love it or not love it. But I try to show them all that positivity, how much I love it. So
Well, that if that positive energy is infectious, man, it is.
it is, and
Yeah, I know your drill instructor told you motivation is contagious.
yeah,
It
it
definitely is.
is. It
It
is,
is.
and I get upset when some people quit when I hear the excuses are just wild, and that to me I don't like just because again being in the military, being in the Marine Corps, being through this, I trained. I will find an hour in a day to train. I don't care. I don't care because after we did the what is it, like 15-hour convoys in Iraq, what would we do?
Yeah.
We'd come back, would we sleep? No, we'd go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Like we
Yeah.
we we were half dead. We didn't sleep for over 20 something hours and then we just went to the gym.
Yeah.
And you just kind of get used to it. But you'll see the people that aren't motivated. The people will be passed out sleeping and then you have the motivated ones, the extra motivated ones are lifting weights and
Yeah.
just doing whatever on their own
Yeah.
time.
Sometimes people, for me in Iraq, really, we didn't have a whole lot. We had like a HESCO hut. We had to wait for them to put together, so we didn't have shit for a minute. But I had to put sandbags on the side of the Hesco barrier and just tie them up. And I was just round
Yeah.
kicks, round kicks, round kicks,
Yeah.
elbow, elbow. You know,
Okay.
just a couple combinations, couple combinations. I didn't have any. I had my leather gloves, bro, so I didn't have like gloves. You know, so I would just throw like combinations just to get something. And my
Some
shins
kid.
got and my shins got so tough, bro. So we got back on ship and we actually started sparring. And they
Yeah.
didn't have pads, so people would throw a check a leg kick, and people were like, oh, like fall down.
Yes.
I'm like, you good, bro?
Oh yeah, you're gonna build your shins kicking sandbags all day. Hell yeah. That's
Yeah,
badass. I
yeah.
love the shin conditioning. I'd get the rolling pin and go up and
Yeah.
down my shins.
Yeah, I hate that rolling pin, man. I don't know what it is because the way it pushes the fascia around or whatever,
Oh, it
but it
hurts.
hurts
It
so bad.
hurts. I was
Yeah,
just like, all right, let's try it for a few seconds.
yeah, it hurts so bad. All right, so now here's the one about since you're owning and opening your own school, and you're accomplished Marine already, combat veteran, and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. In all of that, what is the hardest thing you've ever had to recover from? Like something that hit you that you had to adversity hit you that you had to overcome
After or just at any time,
in your journey throughout your entire journey
man. In jujitsu, just or just in like
in life.
in life. Oh shit. There's been so many obstacles.
Well, let's go with jiu-jitsu first then. Injuries. Have you had any of the biggest injuries you've ever had to overcome?
The biggest injuries. So I had a blood clot before.
Ooh.
I tore my calf in training, and I thought it was just a cramp. And I remember, I remember my teammates were making fun of me. They're like, "Oh, stop being a wuss." And I remember I stood up and I felt my calf do something, and I was getting dizzy, and I felt like I was going to throw up. And I remember my instructors kept punching me and kicking me because I was just like not there. I was like, "What the hell happened?" So I did choose to go to the doctor, which I don't do, and I limped on in there, like on one leg. I'm like, yeah, I think I got whatever. I hurt my calf. People told me to come here, and luckily the doctor checked for a blood clot in my thigh, and I guess it shot up right to my thigh already, and that was weird. I was in the
Oh no, we
hospital.
froze again.
Oh,
Froze. Oh, oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, we're back. Oh, we
good.
got
Okay. And I was in the hospital for 5 days with the blood clot. They pumped me full of all that um, blood thinner stuff, and then I was at blood thinners for 3 months. And I wasn't supposed to train, but I still kind of trained here and there because of the blood thinners. If you hit your head, you could get a stroke because of the bleeding.
you.
Uh,
Ouch.
so I couldn't really train. I could lift, but that wasn't the same. Um, I had a torn growing where I got like put a banana split,
Oh,
and I just was being stubborn and let my ego get in the way, and I relaxed my legs when he was pulling, and I felt, oh, I was out for probably a few months. I was still, because I can't take off more than a week. I will tie myself up with tourniquets if I have to roll. And that's what I'm kind of doing now, because I have a torn meniscus.
yeah.
Um, Now, about 6 months ago, I was actually thinking about I might need surgery. I'm like, I can't do this. And I competed last year. I competed like 4 months ago. I competed on my busted ass knee the whole year, and it's not an excuse. That's just me. But then it started getting stuck every week. My leg started getting stuck. I'm like, I'm gonna need surgery. Like I couldn't straighten it, and it kept popping. So then I got my a PRP injection, which is that plasma
Yeah, yeah.
stuff that
Yeah, I
insurance
got
doesn't. Oh yeah, people got to
I've got
start. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. And
oh yeah.
now I
We
don't
got
I don't knock on wood, but I don't need surgery right now. I'm training hard again. I'm doing a competition in May,
yeah,
and
we
I
have
thought I
the
was getting surgery.
yeah, we have the Joy Wellness Center down here in San Diego. I do got to give them a little bit of a shout out since you mentioned that because they've helped me out. They've helped my professor out several times, man. Tell you what, Joy Wellness Center, science is real. I'm telling you.
It is, and like the stem cells, it's not like they have stem cells finally out here. A few people I know in San Diego, they have a good amount out there.
Oh yeah.
That's where one of my buddies was like, "Hey, you should come out here and get it out here." And I was, because I'm not getting surgery.
Dude, if
I
you
mean,
came out here, I was supposed to have that. They wanted me to have surgery, and I had to alleviate surgery because of that. And
see,
it was, yeah, stem
it's,
cells.
it's amazing. People gotta, oh man, I'm trying to just tell everybody about it because I can't believe my knock on wood, but since the first PRP injection, my knee has not popped out, which is unbelievable.
Yeah,
And this is my second full week of training, probably 100% again. I mean, hard. I'm going hard. I'll say that with my leg.
heck yeah, heck yeah, yeah. I've had to do that too, where I had to have my whole shoulder strapped up in a sling so I
Uh,
can go train. And
yeah,
I wouldn't have done it if my professor hadn't have been like, "No, dude, there's no excuses. You can train. You can train." I'm like, I can't even move my arm, brother. You can train. Get on the mat. Don't
yeah,
be lazy.
yeah, yeah, hell yeah. You could drill. You could drill. I don't care. You have other body parts.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to learn how to use the other body parts. Um, I've had nose surgery from broken noses from MMA. That
yeah,
sucked.
yeah.
The dislocated fingers, the toes. I've had pretty much every injury, but blessed I haven't like torn an MCL, ACL type thing where I had to be out for like a year because I honestly I don't know what the hell I'd do for that.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
rough, man.
that's my biggest fear is just not
That's a
being
rough
able
one.
to do this
Yeah, it is a
for my.
rough one.
Hmm.
All right. What about in life? What is the hardest thing adversity you've ever had to overcome? If you don't want to go there, you don't have to, brother. It's on
No, no,
you. But
that's fine. No, perfect. I would say just having my dad died at 5, just trying to get through life without a father. That's adversity. Um, because it's tough seeing your friends have a father playing sports. So it was always that for me. It was always like watching them being sad as shit, watching my friends play with their fathers, baseball and stuff, where I'm like, man, I can't do that, you know? Um, I think that gave me mental strength though, because you have to just go. I tried to do the best I could, getting raised by my mom, but not having a father is tough. Not having a father is tough, and
yeah,
that's why the Marine Corps I think saved me because I was headed in some stupid directions because I didn't have that mentorship.
yeah,
So once I went in the Marines, they whipped my ass into shape. Not into shape, meaning mentally into shape. Like, okay, you're acting like a spoiled kid. That's not how you get through life.
yeah,
And so that was difficult. Um, and I think I still carry it to this day, obviously, but yeah, that's something that I take pride in.
yeah. But that's great. I mean, it's great that you push past that, and you still, like you said, the key things you said on there was you just kept going, man. You just kept
Well,
going. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And then it goes along with PTSD. You got to keep going. And I always say
Yeah,
you got to keep going. You might lose battles, but you got to win the war. You got to
yeah.
win the ultimate thing. You can't let them win.
You just keep breathing.
Yeah,
You just keep breathing. And I
yeah.
know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, and everybody wants to pretend everything's all happy all the time, but it's
Nope,
not, man. And
nope.
sometimes it's hard when you're slipping and you don't feel yourself slipping until you're already in the hole. And then you realize you're in the hole and now you don't want to ask, can I get out of this fucking hole? Can anybody help me get it? You don't want to ask because you feel like a burden to
Yep,
everybody around you. And you don't want anybody to feel the energy that you're feeling, but you
yep.
know you need help and you don't know how to ask. And this is a terrible spot to be, man. It's
I remember after my second deployment, I wanted to talk to somebody, and a lot of people didn't like that. Like some of my higher ups, they're like, "You don't need to talk to anybody." I'm like, "No, I kind of do." Like, this one guy was telling me it was a sergeant at the time. I was a corporal, and I'm like, "Man, I'm like you weren't even you were in the office the whole time, man. I really don't want to hear your opinion about
right.
you didn't see stuff that I seen." We would get some bombs here and there that hit the base. Who cares? I was sleeping through that stuff. That's
I remember,
nothing.
I remember that Al Assad dude when they would have like me and my buddy Sean. I think it was Robo. Robo was like a belligerent PFC back then, but now he's like one of my best friends.
That's
But
awesome.
he, we were all standing around like that, the air. air raid thing went across, and we're all standing around like everybody's scattering. We're like, what's the problem? Oh,
Yeah.
we got incoming. We're like, for real? I ain't hearing nothing because we didn't hear
Yeah.
no. We hear the poo. We hear nothing too.
Yep.
It was
Nope.
all the way on the far side of the base. Everybody's freaking out. We're like, bro,
Just
I don't know
settle.
what your problem is.
Just calm down. Like
Yeah,
if it didn't hit you and you don't, you're good. Just chill out, man.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
just funny.
yeah. And people
And
react.
Ricky, my boy Ricky, man, he was always had some colorful explicitives looking around, usually puffing on a cigarette. You know, he's a great dude though. Great dude. Love him to death.
Some good people,
Yeah, I've
man.
got him on the mat. I've got him on the mat a few times. I had to beat him up in Al Assad because everybody told me that he was going to quit.
Uh,
If I pushed him, he was going to quit. I'm like, oh really? Nah, man, my man never quit. He got
good,
exhausted a lot of times, but he never quit.
good. No, I just posted something about quitters. Oh man, that shit drives me crazy. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just that you put something in your head and you're just like, I'm doing this. People don't have
yeah,
enough goals. I think people have to set short-term goals and have that ultimate goal, and you got to keep going for
absolutely.
it.
Is that do you find yourself doing that often? Because one of my kids, Nino, man, he talked about that before. That he sets like you got to set small goals. You have your end big where you want to be, but he has to set himself small goals to keep himself going. And I do the
Absolutely.
same thing with tournaments or like I don't know a competition. I got to get ready for something. I got to have a goal. You know?
Oh, absolutely. No, yeah. All I have is my goals because it so keeps you pushing. It keeps you pushing. My goal is to get another bigger gym. My goal is to compete again this year, to have some of my competitors be studs, so it's easy, so they have easier lives. They can make money off jujitsu. That's what I want for people. I don't want people to have to struggle, like kind of how I did. I want people to have it easier. And I know
Yeah,
what this sport could do for people, especially in 2021. You know, as blue belts, you could start making some money. You win the worlds. That's it. At adult or the
yeah,
Pan Ams or the
yeah,
national, something big. You're kind of set. You're gonna have the big companies looking at you, and
yeah.
you're a
You pull off
badass if
something.
you win a
Yeah,
tournament like that.
yeah. If you win a tournament, you pull off something flashy too, or you pull off something like that draws attention, like an
Oh,
amazing submission, or you bring the intensity the whole match. You
yeah,
know, somebody that people want to watch. You're fun to watch. You're
ex
exciting. You go for it all the time.
exactly.
Those are
That's how
great.
you sell. You got to sell
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
If that's what you want to do, but why not?
yeah.
You know, I'm not fake. I just I have to sell myself and promote myself because
But
who's
you're
gonna do
not
it for
promoting
me?
anything bad, brother. You're talking
No.
about your love for jujitsu and making people better, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, heck yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Keep doing
No.
it, man. That's a beautiful thing.
People
I
need
love
it.
it.
People need it. I got a few military people. I signed up some officers, so not enough.
Yeah,
We need more.
yeah,
We need more veterans and
yeah.
officers
Yeah, we
doing.
definitely need more officers on the mat. Once upon a time when I was in Germany, man, we had this lieutenant colonel. And I tell you what, they garner some respect. And you got a lieutenant colonel stepping on the mat and he's strangling everybody on the mat.
That's
And
awesome.
it's like, dude, that's a
Yeah.
beast. Why? Because he's everybody. He's the one who's going to lead you to combat anyway, and he could kick all your ass.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's what you have to.
Yeah,
That's awesome because we. How many times do you get to even talk to a high rank like that? So if
all the
he's
time.
if he, well, yeah, you're lucky. Yeah. No, I mean, we hardly got to talk to our officers other than
Yeah,
our, second, first lieutenants that were running the convoys. They would have their speeches, but we had a few awesome COs. The
yeah,
first deployment, we had a badass CO, and that's who you want. That's going to lead you in the victory. And if I knew he was doing jujitsu or something like that, I'd be like, damn, hell yeah,
he's a
because that's
beast.
motivation. That's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough to do this every day.
yeah,
It's tough to wake up and go train. I don't want to train all the time I go, but I have to because if I don't go, I feel like crap
yeah,
mentally and physically. I'm like, man, why did I pick to sleep in? Why? Because now what
yeah,
did I just do today? I've
yeah.
been like,
I gotta get it in at least once a day. Like I said, since I'm not gonna be able to get the jujitsu down with the 10 Planet homies today, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go smash the kettlebell workout here in a minute and just get that balance in.
oh
And
yeah,
maybe I'll
no,
get maybe I'll get some rolls in tomorrow, yeah, Easter.
yeah, like I rolled all week and then I might roll tonight. with one of my students that she's competing next weekend. Um, and I'm just gonna probably lift.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Well,
my Saturday night.
yeah, I've just thought about it. I do got mats like right over here behind me, so I could just lay the mats out. I got a couple of friends coming over, and they all do jujitsu.
Well, there you go.
I think I could persuade a couple rolls
I
to happen.
secret, yeah, yeah. Well, if they come there and you're in your gi or in your no gi stuff ready to roll, I think they're not gonna be able to leave. They're gonna be like, all
Yeah,
right, let's get it over with. Let's go.
yeah, it'd be good times, man. But good times. Maybe we'll do that before we go to the beach.
Yeah, you're lucky, man. I'm looking at you. You have all this stuff. I'm looking outside. I see nothing but wind and like 50 degrees.
Uh, yeah,
Illinois sucks.
it's pretty good, man. Me and Mama were in the pool, and he had it at 90 degrees, so it was a little chilly, but we're in a big bathtub, so it was great. It was great.
God, oh God, I need to get out there. This is
I do
crazy.
come out and visit, bro. I know we'd be happy to have you train. My professor
Uh,
lets everybody come train, bro.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
of course, man. I travel all the time. I was last year. I had seminars planned in a school in San Diego. I believe Ricky Nunez.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
I
I was
know him.
supposed to do a seminar by a school last
Yeah,
year,
slow
and
roll,
then
right?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, that's crazy. And then COVID hit, screwed everything up. That was my gonna be my first like seminar out of state, and I was so damn excited. So we're gonna probably do it maybe by the end of the year or something like that.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Uh, I'm and that's what I want to do. That's my goal is to still compete, but I want to start doing some seminars um, that I don't teach, like I don't show on my YouTube yet because I don't have the
Yeah.
watch hours yet. Until I start getting paid by YouTube, I don't want to put out every good thing that I
No, I
know.
mean if it's yours,
Yeah,
dude, you got to
yeah,
sell yourself for free.
yeah. No,
It's your
there's,
thing.
I try to show my students everything that I know. It's crazy, but um, like yeah, when I do seminars, I like Berimbolo seminars, just like because you just worm guard seminars, just like stuff that
Worm guard. Oh man,
yes,
I definitely need to learn worm guard, bro. Because I get taken
love it.
apart. I hate it when somebody I'm fighting against knows worm guard.
Yes,
Man, that's a rough one.
a good blue belt could piss off a black belt if they wrap you up. Like getting out
Woo.
of worm guard could be very, very, very difficult.
Yeah,
Uh, and it's a
dude.
great guard, slow.
If you get out to California, I'll definitely cash in on a private at least for that. 'Cause I
Oh hell
definitely
yeah! Man, I'll sit there for hours and just I love it. I love it because then I learn more. Like I love learning more. So the more that I teach, I'm like, damn. I mean, like the next move, I'll teach the same move, but the next day I'll have another detail. I'd be like, you know what? Let's do that. Let's even make that even crisper. Let's not
yeah,
give us a centimeter of space or it's
that's awesome.
perfecting it. Jiu-jitsu is
Yeah,
perfect. People are.
it's always all about the details too, man. Because I get like a little bit of a different detail from somebody else, and it just fits
Yeah,
right into my game or my body style, the way that I'm
exactly.
rolling, my
Yeah,
smash and freaking thing pass thing, whatever. But yeah, when they give me that little bit of a detail, takes the extra inch away, boom, the
yes it
submission's
does.
right there.
Yes it does. No, I love it.
I
I
love
love
it. It's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. I love it to death.
it. Yes it is.
Yeah, and it's continuous, like you say, you just continuously still growing and still learning.
It's
Man,
nonstop. It's nonstop. I'll go one week. I'm like, okay, I finally got that. Then the next week, there's more steps. I'm like, holy shit, guys, calm down. Stop coming
check,
out with all this cool stuff.
check. All right, now brag about your gym again. Where are you guys located?
We are in Elmhurst, Illinois, South Burbs, Ferro Academy.